Hold on to your hats because the dust is blowing. Residents in the San Angelo neighborhood are not happy with the idea of closing Cox Lane, and a crash took out a signal light on North Bryant. Plus, Orlando and Anna Reyna with Reyna's Tacos break some news live on the air. All this plus more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. But first, have you gone out for a steak lately? Take a trip out to Miles and select the juiciest and tastiest cuts of steaks in Texas. While you're there, grab some fresh bacon and smoked sausage for breakfast. It's much better value than Outback, trust me. Sklenarix is an award-winning smokehouse and is located on the main drag in Miles, Texas at 108 South Robinson. Make a special trip out there for better quality food than you'll get in most restaurants at the prices you can still afford. A steak dinner with Sklenarix is a special meal and an excellent idea for your Valentine's Day. Sklenarix Smoked Meats is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and 9 until noon on Saturdays. It's a drive that's well worth the taste. Sklenarix Smoked Meats in Miles, Texas. We start the news with some exciting business news. San Angelo's favorite taco spot, Reyna's Tacos downtown, has announced that they have moved out of their original spot. We broke this news this morning that the truck that brought the taco box to San Angelo has moved out of the former gas station on the corner of Abe Street downtown and has moved into a larger house next door. We won't get fully into it, but stick around as Orlando and Anna Reyna will join the show right after the news. A San Angelo neighborhood is on fire after word broke out that the San Angelo City Council is looking to abandon Cox Lane. If you've been out there, you probably know that Cox Lane and Foster Road run parallel to each other and are about 10 feet apart. Well, the city has now approved that if a developer is seeking to create a new subdivision on the Cox farm, that they would have to make a connecting street to Sunset or Parkview instead of using what is now Cox Lane. Once a plan is in place, the city essentially will shut down that street and abandon it. That led to nearly a dozen citizens in the neighborhood commenting on why it's such a bad idea. Their fear, destruction of their quiet little neighborhood. Let's watch.
13 years ago, we purchased our home on Parkview and in that neighborhood specifically because it was quiet. It was like my little hometown that I grew up in. I can let my kids, safely walk to their friends' houses and ride their bikes. You go down the street every day and there are families out riding bikes, running, walking their dogs, and playing in the streets. And we all feel safe because all the traffic we get through there is people that live there. So we're all aware and cautious of the children playing. This will disappear if traffic is rerouted onto our street.
There was some skepticism brought up by the council. Specifically, Councilmember Karen Hesse-Smith wanted more information before approving the item. Her two main points were drainage issues and, of course, traffic issues. To that, Mayor Gunter assured her that approval for plans for a subdivision would come at a later date.
Cox abandonment might not happen till 10 years from now, because unless the developer has a plan or approved plat, it's just really the question mark of abandoning Cox Lane at some point, at some time, when some developer decides to do some project.
The vote ended up being 3-2, with Hesse-Smith and Councilman Larry Miller opposing. The mayor asked that the item be reconsidered at the next council meeting when all the council members are in attendance. And this morning on North Bryant, drivers started their day with a bang. From 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock, officers with the San Angelo Police Department worked 2 crashes at the intersection of 22nd and North Bryant. in that crash. No serious injuries occurred, but there was some damage to a stoplight and also to a one-way sign. In one of the cars were school-aged children. Luckily, they weren't hurt, but this is a good example of why to always slow down and take your time on your way to drop your kids off at school. And if you watched yesterday's show, you know that you shouldn't be surprised by the biggest weather story of today, and that is, of course, the blowing dust. Expect this dust and wind to keep blowing all night long until at least about 1 a.m. The National Weather Service today reported gusts of 50 miles per hour at the airport, so hold on to your hat the rest of this afternoon and tonight. And finally, do you want to know why Live Daily News is the best news show on the planet? Well, who else would you tell a for sure spot to catch a fish? If you're looking for the best spot to catch some trout, go to Javelina Draw at the San Angelo State Park. That's where Texas Parks and Wildlife Department crews stocked over 300 catchable rainbow trout today. So go out to the state park and have some fun. And we'll be back with Ryan Chadwick with sports.
The TLCA Eagles and Lady Eagles hosted the Merkel Badgers at TLCA on Tuesday. The Lady Eagles fell to the Lady Badgers 69-12. The Eagles dominated their competition 75-40. Jaden Villanueva led the Eagles with 16 points. In other basketball news, the Central Bobcats and Lady Cats hosted the Odessa Permian Panthers at Central High School last night. The Lady Cats dominated the Lady Panthers to win their second game in a row, 56-32. The Bobcats played a tough game all throughout, but the Permian caught fire in the second half to down the Bobcats 71-55. Coach Villegas had this to say about his team when I asked him his thoughts.
I mean, their players stepped up in the second half. Number 5 and number 3, they've kind of been leaning on those guys all year long, and they stepped up in the second half and made some really big shots. We kind of lost a 12-point lead. We kind of fell off of what we were successful with early on, and moving the basketball and making some shots, and we were in attack mode. We weren't in attack mode in the second half, and it allowed them to come back.
For everything high school basketball, tune into our Cover One Sports Show on Friday at 4 p.m. We will have an exclusive interview with TLCA's head basketball coach, Kent Sherrill, and a preview and our predictions for this weekend's games.
So we were on vacation, family vacation, having a good time, and we get the call.
I mean, it was a river. It was a river in our house. That's the big thing, is we kept wondering, how bad is it?
It was devastating. I was like numb. It's like, how are we going to handle all this? What are we going to do?
Welcome back to the show. We have two very special guests today. It's Orlando and Anna Reyna from Reyna's Tacos. We shared some big news during the news segment of this about a little change of location, but I wanted to get a little deep dive, so I brought you on the show today. But first of all, how you guys doing?
Oh, man.
Great, man. Doing
Great.
good.
Excited.
Perfect.
Except for all this wind out there right now, but other than that, we're good, man.
I know, man. You were blown away when you were walking in the
Yeah.
door. But, how's the taco business?
Oh, good. It's good. It's exciting times for us right now, just because we're walking into a new year with a new plan, some new goals, to, of course, make things bigger and better, more fun for people to be around.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. Y'all have been in y'all's original location. When did y'all move in there?
2017.
2017. And y'all took that thing from just some building that used to be a gas station into like a really cool hip spot that's with all the paintings and then the taco truck and all that. Just talk about those years just building up what y'all gotten to be here now, I guess.
Man, the best way that I can describe it is a blessing.
Yeah.
It was a blessing for us, for our family.
Yeah.
And now that we're it was just time to move on and do something bigger,
Yeah.
The property that we moved to next door is actually our property. So we're just really excited about everything that's to come, and fixing it up. Man, I think everybody's gonna love it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think San Angelo gets some vibes from Austin, and if you've been to Austin, you've probably been to Rainy Street. If you've been down to 6th Street, it's another little area of I wouldn't say nightclubs or bars, but
Yeah.
they're these houses that have been there forever, and they've turned these houses into bars. And then we have like what we have in San Angelo already. We have Peasant Village, which is basically a house that serves food. Now y'all are doing it a little bit different. Now y'all Airbnb this, so kind of talk about the experience that you can really get at the new location at Reyna's Tacos.
Yeah, so that's something that we're, every day it takes shape a little more, right? We are putting it on Airbnb as an Airbnb experience.
Okay.
So with that, it'll include like experience San Angelo type of feel. The house, it sleeps 8 people, so it's really cool to have a bunch of guests, like a group of people. If you're coming to town to visit,
Going to a bachelor party, bachelorette party. I mean, that's a eight-seater right there.
engagement parties,
Yeah.
bridal showers. There's lots of stuff that people contact us for events.
Absolutely.
That aren't necessarily just the big giant things that you think of when you think of events.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to tailor the space to kind of to give a feel like you're at home. Well, I'm originally from San Antonio. I lived in Austin for 6 years before I came here to live with my husband.
There we go.
And so, those kinds of things are not uncommon in those cities. And so when we thought about making the move to the house for Reyna's, it just felt like the potential was, undeniable.
It's a great idea. I mean, you're going to come to San Angelo and you're going to want to eat some tacos anyways.
Yeah.
So you might as well get them right where you're staying at. But don't worry, you don't have to stay there to eat there. Y'all are doing some big stuff, including, kind of almost doubling the size of y'all's patio area.
Yeah.
And if you've been to Reyna's at night before, you know that, it can be a party sometimes. So we're doubling the size. We're making it just a little bit bigger. Talk about that, the bar that y'all are doing, go into that.
Okay, so right now the bar is pretty much we're still doing the build out on it. It's actually the garage to that home. It's a 3-car garage, so it's a pretty good space. Our bar is going to be in there. A few tables, a little bit of seating also, but mainly we're keeping up we're going to keep the feel of what it was before, the outdoor. The outdoor space is really what we're going to take advantage of because it's really big and man, it's just.
Y'all are one of the few spots in San Angelo, I will say, that if you think about where do I want to go eat and go sit outside and go eat, that y'all are definitely the ones that pop into your mind because y'all bring an atmosphere of sometimes you guys have live music.
Right.
Y'all usually have music going regardless. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, so y'all are going to be bringing some of that into the new spot.
Yes.
You told me that, it's kind of eye deceiving that, you're like, I don't know, is it really that much bigger? But there's a back and it stretches all the way back there.
It stretches all the way to where Texas Trust sits on 2 wigs. So, and that's another thing that we're working on is a dual entrance. So, we are in the next few days going to be moving the taco truck into the gates. So into the back area.
So right now it's sitting kind of in the front, but y'all are actually going to put it in there.
It's going to be in the back.
It's going to actually be in the backyard.
Awesome.
But we're going to have it there. We're, like we said, we're hoping to get the bar done soon. That's, step by step. Right now we're focused on the outside eatery and the atmosphere like you're talking about. The lighting back there, it's huge. When we were doing events like weddings and stuff out there, we could seat 150 comfortably.
Wow.
Not using the concrete slab for seating.
Right.
So we can fit quite a bit of people in there.
Go. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you can, the whole group can just stay upstairs.
Yes. And then we're going to put in some lawn games.
Yeah, yard games and stuff, cornhole, the big Jenga, stuff like that, and
sometimes we'll have bounce houses for the kids and stuff, just depending on time of season and what we're doing.
Yeah, and y'all always have festivals at Reyna, so y'all going to still be doing those.
Hopefully we can still keep doing that. Definitely, our block parties and stuff like that, man. Something that we want to keep doing for sure.
We sure do.
Yeah.
And if you've been to the old Reynas, one of the things that is kind of known to y'all, I guess, is y'all's big artwork that y'all have in those things. I mean, what was it? The 12 disciples eating tacos at the old
Last Supper. That's
the
right.
Last Supper. So we're going to be having some Big Art coming
Yes.
into
Yes,
to the
for
new,
sure.
new spot.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. We already have a couple of artists working on some pieces that are going to be there.
Ashley Morales
Yeah.
is working on a big mural of Vicente Fernandez right
Yeah.
now. We hope to bring Inks back in. He was the one who did our original artwork.
Yeah.
Inks with Dreams Don't Die Tattoo Shop. We literally kind of give him a vision and he takes it on and
He
does
just
it.
takes off with it,
I
man.
mean, takes off.
That's gonna be crazy. I don't know what they're gonna do with that if they ever rent that building.
Yeah.
out or whatever next. I don't
I
know.
hope they don't
But
paint over it. I'm sure.
No,
It's
they
such
might
a
have
cool
to keep
painting.
It and just
Yeah.
be like, yeah, this is just what it came with.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll finish on this question, guys. What are y'all most excited about going into this new experience?
Really giving our customers more comfortable eating, right? I mean, in our original spot was great, but there wasn't a lot of shade or cover, and
Right.
so when the weather was bad, it kind of, even if you
Yeah.
wanted tacos, it's not the ideal place to
Right.
sit and eat.
Right.
So with this space, it's a little more covered in. We have a little more space in the bar area that we're going to be working on soon to seat people in the case that inclement weather comes. They have a more comfortable space to be, and we just hope to grow it up to be just like a really, really cool, unique spot.
I'm excited about the experience that we're bringing to the customers because it's something that there's not going to be any other place here like it. You know, I'm not saying that, it's the best place, but I'm saying it's going to be very unique.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know, like
absolutely.
they're-
I mean, let's be honest. Y'all kind of popped up on the scene and brought the taco pizza box. And next thing you know, you see it. You see it 3 or 4 other places here in town. So you got to stay
Spreading
unique.
the love, yeah.
You got to stay unique. You
Yeah.
have to serve the best and also bring it in a unique atmosphere. And I think that's kind of what you're doing. So, guys, go down there, go get a pizza taco box. It's not. What do y'all call it? I
We
guess?
call it taco
Just a
box.
taco
The
box.
taco
Yeah,
box. Okay,
taco
I
box.
just want to
Yeah.
make sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a taco box. So go down there to 334 Concho.
West Concho Avenue.
Yeah,
Yep.
334 West Concho Avenue. And what are y'all's hours? And what if they need any? Can they call y'all or find you on
Yeah.
Facebook or anything?
Absolutely. Of course, our Facebook page. We have our website, eatreynastacos.com. You can order directly through there for both pickup and delivery. We have a text line, 325-267-7081. You can text in and we'll have your order ready. And then we also have our delivery guys, San Angelo to Go, our locals. They're a huge support, so you can find us there too. And we'll have some more updates on like how we're gonna bring everything together
keep it
and release
moving.
it on.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully by Valentine's Day, if the weather is permitting, then
Yeah.
we'll have a big event there for our grand reopening.
All right, sounds good. Go see the guys down there at Reyna's Tacos. This has been Anna in Orlando. Reyna, I'm Matt Tremel. We will go back to the guys in the studio.
And that's it for news, weather, and sports. Be sure to download the San Angelo Live app if you don't have it on your phone already, and check us out on social media. We will see you again tomorrow.